Hey everybody, welcome to today's video, and today I'm going to be going over how you can be successful selling insurance without having to deal with all the stress and worry and heartache that 99% of people deal with when they get into the insurance industry. So this video is going to teach you how to be successful and not fail in the industry in your first year. 92% of insurance agents actually fail in their first year, so please take this information and apply it however you'd like. So the first reason why most people fail is because they just don't have a big enough client base. So anytime you get into a business, you need to have a client base to sell to. A client base is a pipeline, and a pipeline is another word for a group of people who are interested in your product. So for anybody to sell anything, a lot of people have to know that they're selling it, right? Does that make sense? You guys following me here? So for someone to buy insurance from you, they need to know that you sell insurance. And in order to know that you sell insurance, you have to tell them. So what some people end up doing, most systems require you to either literally go through your cell phone and call people that you know to tell them that you sell life insurance, which can be very cringe. And most other systems will require you to buy leads. So you actually have to pay for the name and number of someone who's interested in buying life insurance. So if your company requires people to buy leads, then this is basically how it works. You get a form and you fill out the form ordering leads, and you tell them how many leads that you want. Now, leads are very, very expensive. Typically, they're around $25, $30, $35, or $40 each. And that's the name and number of someone who's interested in buying insurance. That does not guarantee that that person is actually interested in buying insurance. It doesn't guarantee that that's their phone number. It doesn't guarantee anything. It doesn't guarantee a sale. So think about how many people you'd have to call to get them to answer a random number. Well, that's exactly what happens when you're buying insurance leads. Most people that you call are actually never going to answer the phone at all. And it's very difficult, especially if you're selling over the phone and you want to work in a remote setting. It's extremely unforgiving. So imagine you start in the business and you have maybe $500, $700,000 to your name or less. Even if you have a couple $1,000s, you're going to buy a small amount of leads and you have to make an immediate profit. So that means that you have to call someone and know the product to pitch them. You have to know how to do an application, and you have to be proficient enough in the sales process to actually make money and to convert that lead into a sale, convert that individual into a sale and sell them a policy. It's actually a kind of like a ridiculous expectation for someone to expect that from a brand new agent. Like, okay, you just got your license. So now, like, we're just going to assume you're an expert at sales and you know all the products and you know all the applications. So most people who go in a system where they buy leads, they fail. And they don't just fail, they end up in debt because they had to put all this money into leads and they end up leaving. That's literally the story of 99% of agents out there who go into a system where you have to buy leads. If whoever hired you told you different, then they are lying to you. It is not true at all. Most people end up failing. Now, if you're going to go sell face-to-face, that's a different story because you get a name and number and an address and you can go knock on that person's door and it's a little bit more personable, right? It's much easier to sell face-to-face than over the phone. So that can be a big challenge that a lot of people run into. Another thing is that you don't always know what the advertisement is like for those leads. So there's a new law that's passing that's going to make it illegal for you to call a life insurance lead or an insurance lead, meaning for you to call someone who's interested in your products or services if your name is not on that advertisement telling them that you are going to call them. So essentially, you guys know what ads look like on Facebook, right? So you're on Facebook, you're scrolling through, you see an ad, you fill out a form to call that person. Now, pretty soon, if your name is not on that ad or the company's name is not on that ad, then it's going to be illegal for you to call that person to sell them insurance. So that's just like part of the nightmare of the leads that people go into. And the thing that's messed up is these people that hire insurance agents also make money selling them leads. So they double dip. So not only are they usually don't invest anything to get the person started. They usually don't have to spend any money, well, aside from maybe recruiting costs for advertising on job boards and stuff like that. So there is some money spent. But they're not paying for the license process a lot of the time. Sometimes they do. And they're not paying for the leads. And they'll make a profit on the leads. So if they sell your lead for $25, it might have cost them $15, right? So they're making $10 on each lead. And on top of that, they're making a piece of your sale. So they make money before you even make a sale. So it's really scammy, in my opinion anyway. It's like, okay, so you're going to double dip on all these things. And they're like, I'm going to sell you this opportunity when they just want to make money off you buying leads and selling policies. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I think it's scammy, the whole lead thing. Now, a lot of places too, they won't even help you if you don't buy their leads. So you have to buy their leads or they're not even going to help you. Most companies out there, if you are not buying their leads, then they're not going to help you make sales. And if you want to go out and generate your own leads to pay that $10, $11, $12, $13, $14, $15 or whatever per lead or cheaper, instead of paying them $25 or $30 or $35 for it so they can make a profit, if you want to figure out how to do it on your own, it's going to take tens, if not hundreds of hours learning how to run ads on social media specifically for life insurance. And you're going to spend thousands of dollars either troubleshooting and trying to figure it out yourself, or thousands of dollars, $5,000, $7,000, or $10,000 to pay someone to teach you how to do it. And trust me, I know that because I've paid people to teach me to do it, and I have gotten paid to teach people to do it. So lead intent is very important as well. So like the companies that sell leads, some of them want they have to balance profit with intent. And what I mean by that is if they make the ad where it's very vague, they're going to get a lot of people filling out forms, but it's going to be very hard for the agent to sell. If they have an ad that's very specific and detailed, then they're going to get high intent, meaning the people who fill out the forms have a very high intent to buy, but the cost is going to be so high that it's not appealing for people to buy that lead. So they have to balance that. So you don't always know exactly what's on that ad and what the person is filling out. And so when you're buying the leads, when you're creating them, you do, but when you're buying them, you don't. Now, because of that, here at our system at Senior Life Services, we provide unlimited leads to our agents at no cost. So our agents work from home and we give them all the leads. We run all the ads online. We do all the telemarketing. We do all the prospecting, and we find the leads for our agents so they don't have to worry and stress about that. They don't have to come out of pocket all this money to buy leads. They don't have to call their friends and family and be that person who's trying to recruit them or sell them life insurance or something like that. So we make it totally stress-free on the lead side, and we give our agents the exposure that they need to learn and be successful in the business. Because when you only have 20, 30, 40 leads to work with, it's really hard to get the practice in and be successful, right? Because you don't have a ton of you can't get a lot of practice off 40 or 50 leads, because remember, they're not all going to answer. Maybe like 10% will answer. 10, 15% of them will answer. So that means when you start, you have to get really good in 10 presentations, which is totally unrealistic. So here we have a different approach. We run an incredible marketing all across the internet, digital advertisements, and we have a telemarketing team that calls people to verify they're actually interested before our agents call them. And we have inbound calls coming in where people are calling us for information on life insurance because they're requesting life insurance. So we make that whole thing stress-free, and our agents get so much more practice in, so much practice, in fact, that other agencies, like the ones who sell people leads, call our agents to try to recruit them onto their agency because they're not good at, they can't train them themselves. They're not good enough at training on their own to get people going well, and they don't want to invest that money into their agents. So they try to work around it and cheat, but whatever. So that's my rant. But you need to have a bunch of leads to start and be successful. There's no way around it. You have to get a ton of reps in to get good at this, and we provide that to our agents at absolutely no cost. Now, the next thing I want to go over is first, I'll just give you a background story from when I started, what my leads look like. I had to call all my family and friends, and I had to buy leads, and then I ended up paying someone $5,000 to $10,000 to figure out how to generate leads. So next, I'm going to talk about how important training is. Now, when I started, my training only consisted of learning what the products were. That was it. That's all my upline, the person who hired me, taught me. They didn't teach me anything about sales. They didn't teach me anything about how to handle rejection and what my day should look like, what my schedule should look like. They didn't teach me any of that stuff. So it was really, really hard. I had to figure all of that on my own. They didn't teach me how to do my applications and figure out exactly what someone qualified for based on what they said their health conditions were. There's a lot that goes into it. And we had one or two training training sessions a week. And then other than that, it was, hey, go figure it out. And I did end up figuring it out, but 99%, everyone else I started with quit and failed. So now what we've done is we've created a system here where people don't have to figure it out like that. We have training every single day. We have up to 3 hours of training calls available live every single day for all of our agents. And we have one-on-one trainings, and we even jump on our agents' calls to help them close their sales for in-call support and in-call training. That way you can hear someone actually closing the sale for you live, and you don't have to pay them for it. It doesn't come out of your commission or out of your pay or anything like that. And on top of that, we have agents that are listening in on calls throughout the day that can provide feedback and that can help you improve your process. We all work on Zoom, so we're all in there working together, cheering each other on, helping each other grow and succeed. And we have all types of different training. Not only do we train on the products and the applications in sales, but we also train on mindset, motivation. How do you set goals? How do you accomplish those goals? What do you need to do to connect the dots between what you want and what you're willing to do to get there? So there's so much that goes into it, and sometimes people will try to oversimplify this, and it just doesn't make sense. And you have to learn, and it's challenging, and it's a challenging career. That's why most people don't succeed at it. And if most people did succeed, then the company who hired you probably wouldn't have needed to hire you. So it can work in your favor. You can be one of the 5 to 8% of people who make it through their first year in the insurance industry, but you need the help. You need the support. You need the training. So what you got to ask yourself is, hey, who am I going to sell to? Is it going to be easy for me to find clients when I start? If it is, and you already have a huge network, then great, you'll do well. If you might do well. But if you don't have like hundreds of people lined up that you can call to sell to, you're going to struggle. It's going to be really, really hard. And also, don't get tricked by people who are like, oh, I made $1,000 in 30 minutes. Okay, you don't know how much money they had to spend on leads before they made that $1,000 commission. So what if they spent $900 on leads and sold made $1,000? They really only made $100, right? You don't know how long it took them. You don't know the whole background to it, and that's just an advance on commission. So if that person cancels, then they owe the money back. So there's a lot of things a lot of smoke and mirrors that go on in the industry. And I've created a system where it's as transparent as possible. I'm sure if you're watching this, you've learned from some of the videos I've put out to help people pass their insurance exam. And I think I'm pretty good at explaining things in a way that helps people understand them without having to, figure it out on their own. And I apply that same principle and that same method of training to our sales training and our product training and our application training and our mindset and motivation training and all that stuff. So we really have a comprehensive system here. We provide everything that agents need to sell life insurance 100% from home without needing to buy leads or deal with any of that stuff. We provide the computer program that organizes all the leads. We provide you a phone line that you can just call through your computer. Literally all you need is a work ethic, a willingness to learn, and a good personality, and a headset and high-speed internet and a computer. That's it. And if you can have those things, then we can help you be successful here. So if some of the things that I said resonated with you, or you feel like, hey, I helped you and pass your exam, maybe this guy can help me sell insurance. By this point, I may have even helped you more than the person who hired you. I probably have up to this point. If you've watched some of my videos to study, I've probably helped you in your insurance career so far more than the person who hired you. And if that's the case, I'd love for you to give me a chance to help you be successful selling insurance as well. I know I can do it. And I have hundreds of people that I've helped successfully sell insurance. And I'm so confident that I can help you sell insurance at a high level that if you hit certain work effort targets for your first year, meaning if you spend a certain amount of time on the phone working every week for your first year and you don't make $100,000, we cover the difference. So we provide a $100,000 income guarantee here, where if you work for a year and you hit these certain targets that are very attainable and you don't make $100,000, we will cover the difference for you. So I hope this helps you. I look forward to potentially working with you in the future. If we don't work together, absolutely no problem at all. Totally cool. However, I do know the difficulties that agents run into getting into this business, and we provided a system that gets rid of all of those. If you want to give it a shot, just send me an email at the email in the description of the video, jve@thejve.com. That's jve@thejve.com. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a happy and successful insurance career.